Good morning, everybody. How's everybody doing today? I am your host, Armando Ortega, and I hope you like that intro a little bit. Sorry, I put my thing to record. I reset my record player, and right now, in the background, we will be listening to the wonderful works of Mr. Lou Rawlins. It's an amazing album he came out with on my record player. It's old. I looked up because when I bought it, I looked it up and it came out like in the 80s, I think. I forgot. Hold on, give me a second. Turn off a fan and lower this volume because honestly, I feel like I can barely even hear myself. 1 second. Kiwi girl. Alright, sorry about that. I forgot what year it came out, honestly, but listen to this. That's right. Some Liquid Death. First 2 minutes, barely heard me talk, but you know, I'm here. 1 second. Liquid Death is delicious. How's everybody doing today? You know, last episode I was talking about how I barely upload really anymore, and you know, it's the truth. I barely do upload anymore, but like I also explained, it was mainly because of my job. I have more responsibilities to do. I am moving forward, and I think my hard work, dedication, and persistence is starting to pay off. I've been with this employment for less than a year, honestly. I think 8 months. Man, 8 months already. That's crazy. Like, I still feel new, but man, that's insane. 8 months. And with the responsibilities that I'm given, it got to the point where even my boss from time to time asks me for my opinion or how would I approach certain situations and everything like that. And just as like a consultation, basically. And it's like, wow, you know? Like, it sometimes feels weird when that happens. But then, like, when it happens, one, I feel flattered. Like, hey, thank you for believing that I'm well-versed enough to have my ideas and opinions valued. But two, it was just like, I kind of need to stop being surprised. Or what, better said, I got to stop wondering why I'm the one being asked on certain things for consultation or advice or whatever, you know, because it's like, in the end of the day, I've been in leadership roles for years, whether officially or unofficially. Unofficially, like when I used to be an FTO for when I used to work with the trolleys, I used to take a lot of the new hires out patrolling, teaching them how to do this, teaching them how to do that. My first trainee, actually, me and him are still friends to this day. We were just talking to last night, and that was back in January 2017 or February, the end of February, I think. Like, we're still friends. And how do you call it? And yeah, but I never was officially given the title of FTO. I was never given FTO pins, nothing like that. Another job, I was never officially a supervisor, but when supervisor wasn't there for my shift, I would take on the role as a supervisor. So it's like two jobs that I was unofficially supervisor or FTO, but I was doing supervisor FTO work. I apologize for my dishwasher in the background if you can hear it. But yeah, but you know, my last job, I was a supervisor for over a year. You know, I have experience. I'm not gonna say experience with everything, every situation. No, I don't. But I have experience with a fair amount, and to the point where when I worked my other two jobs, which includes this one, where I wasn't a supervisor or somebody of authority over the team, I would tell my lady that I had to catch myself sometimes, because certain situations would come up, or certain problems, or certain like observations I would make with somebody I was working with, that my inner supervisor will start coming out and everything. Like, you know, putting on my supervisor mode on, like asking questions like, hey, what's going on with this? What's going on with that? What are you doing? Yada yada. This is how it's supposed to be done. This and this and that. But it's just like, I always have to stop and remember, I'm not a supervisor. You know, I'm not, I don't have any authority over anybody, you know? It's just like, so I end up always just biting my tongue and be like, all right. But, you know, I don't ever mind moving up and everything for wherever I'm at. Honestly, I actually kind of look forward to it wherever I'm at. Not because I want to boss people around, but because, like anywhere, it's always nice to have a fresh perspective or a fresh way of doing things. And everybody in the face of this planet has been through either similar or different types of scenarios and situations, have different experiences, have different thought process, have different outcomes for certain ways they do things that they can contribute. And I feel like I can do that too, is contribute. But that's just basically what's been happening. And with that happening with my current job, like I said, it's just been more responsibilities of me working, and me not really uploading here isn't because I don't feel like it. I always love uploading here. It's just, you know, I'm more preoccupied with my job at the moment rather than this, because in the end of the day, even though I love doing this, my job is where I win my bread. My job is where I can get my money to pay my bills, my rent, and pay for anything that I need and or want. Although the wants are supposed to come in last place over everything else, you know? But yeah, other than that, it's been great. It's been great lately, you know what I'm saying? Hold on. I left my phone over there. Hold on. Thanks for being patient with me today. Oh, if you're like not really hearing my mic fumbling around or anything like that when I move, it's because I finally set up the stand again. You know, the reason I stopped setting up this mic stand for the last couple of videos was solely because it takes a couple minutes to set up. You know, clamping it onto my table here, and then like running the wire around it in order to minimize the loose wiring everywhere, setting up the pop filter, finding the right angle, etc, etc, etc. It's just takes a couple of minutes, and sometimes I don't want to do it, so I don't. But I'm at a disadvantage mainly because whenever situations come up when I have to stand up, when I have to, you know, how do you say it, move around or whatever, like you kind of get that little noises in the background of me having to put my mic down and everything like that. So I said it for this one. It's my one day off this week. So, you know, I'm just like, I'm gonna get up, I'm gonna do everything that I want to do, well, that I need to do what I want to do. And then here I am getting this podcast done a lot earlier, which I'm actually very happy about. You know, it's actually pretty weird lately. For the past, I don't know how, like 2 weeks maybe, I've just been like I said this before, I've been feeling down, like not gloomy, but like not like how I would like to feel, and basically. And at one point my lady was just like, do you think it has to do with the weather? Because it has been really cloudy here in San Diego these past 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks, which surprised me, you know. But she's like, do you think it has to do with the weather? And I've read that, yeah, you know, sadness, gloominess, and all that stuff can happen when you have the lack of sunshine, the lack of blue skies, the lack of beauty outside when it's always just cloudy and rainy and everything like that. No rain has been down here. I would love to have some rain down here, but none. But then like what do you call it? I was always being like, no, I don't think that's it. And you know, in a sense, it wasn't, because for me, I love it. I love the cloudiness. I love, you know, not having like that much sun or anything like that, because it gives me more desire to walk outside. Weird, huh? You know, but mainly because it reminds me of home. Broken record, I know. It reminds me of home and everything. Surprise, surprise. But yeah, that's what it was. Well, that's what I felt like it was. The thing is, yeah, that was part of the reason, though. I mean, like, it was because the day was cloudy. The day was gloomy and everything like that. It lightly sprinkled, but that was about it one day. Today being my one day off, because we had a very busy week. Today being my one day off, I actually went out early in the morning. I woke up and it was cloudy again this morning, but it actually cleared up pretty soon. Like there's some like haze outside. There's like, I don't know if you guys ever get this. Like, you know how there's the clear blue skies and then there's clouds. You can see the clear difference. But right now it's kind of like when you do artwork and you want to blend in to do shades and shadow and everything like that. So it gradually goes from very light to grayish to dark and everything like that, because you're blending, you're shading and everything. That's basically what the sky is now. One side I'm looking at it and it's very blue. It's very clear, very beautiful. And as I look towards the right, it slowly starts blending into a more grayish, whitish color and everything, because it's not all the way clear. But yeah, you can tell that, you know, there's still some cloudiness in the sky. But nonetheless, it was very beautiful today. I actually got up. I got up fairly early. My lady left to work and everything like that. Didn't fix up or anything. Just got dressed. Went out skating. I love skating, by the way. It's so fun. But like, yeah, went out skating. And how do you call it? Speaking of skating, I gotta change my grip tape. You know, when I first started skating, the board that I have right now, a lot of people would stop me in the streets because it was brand new. It was like brand spanking new and everything. And my board had a theme. It was just white, pure white with hints of gold and hints of like some nice blue and everything. And people would be like, yo, your board is sick. Your board is sick. And I'm like, thanks. Now I feel like people barely bat their eyes in my stuff because I've been riding it so much in like different roads and different weather conditions and everything that the wheels aren't white anymore. They're like yellowish and dirt. And then the grip tape, it's the whole deck is white, but the grip tape was clear to emphasize to keep the white of the original deck visible. And the only black color on the deck was the 0 skull and the 0 name. But now the grip tape's dirty, you know, because of all the grime and gunk and everything. When I'm like kicking off or, you know, on the road and everything, I step on my deck. But yeah, well, anyways, I skated around for a bit. I went to this old place and grabbed the sandwich, which was very, very delicious. You know, that was my breakfast, a sandwich, roast beef sandwich. And I had a cup of coffee. And it was like today being a beautiful day. The sun is out. The sun still is out. The sky was mainly blue and clear. The trees were vibrant green. You know, there's birds chirping. People are like in their shirts and shorts, just riding their bikes or walking around with their sunglasses. And I see a bunch of different dogs, and it's beautiful. You know, it's very, 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 very beautiful. And yeah, and I saw it, and it was incredible, you know, and it just made me smile. it made me smile a lot. So I ended up enjoying my morning, barely listening to music or anything, and just enjoying the day. Once I was done with my sandwich and my coffee, I went out. I walked for a bit while carrying my board. By the way, I got to buy this backpack that I used to have back in middle school or the beginning of high school, which is basically those backpacks that allow you to like strap your skateboard on the back and walk around with it, so you don't have to keep carrying it like that. And it's very nifty. It was very nifty. It was very handy. I wish I had it again. But anyways, yeah, it was one of those. So I just walked around for a bit and just enjoying the day. And to be honest, I gotta say, I felt a lot better today. You know, despite having one day off, despite all that, it was a beautiful day so far. You know, I ended up fixing my bed, fixing the couch, washing the dishwasher's going on right now, but majority of the dishes are done already. And I've just been enjoying. I finished my entire Lamb of God record. Palaces Burn, that's the album. I finished all that. Now I'm listening to Lou Rawlins. It's a great artist. If you guys haven't listened to Lou Rawlins, please do yourself a favor and just listen to his music. You're like, this guy is so talented. It's so amazing. You know, you like jazz, you like old school music and everything, but still like, you know, has a swing vibe to it, kind of. Lou Rawlins, listen to him. Hold on one second. Part of me wishes that, not part of me, all of me wishes that my memory card wouldn't screw up, because I deleted my old videos on it before I started this one right now. But the problem is it started doing the same thing it did last time, where it had a file corrupted inside there and it wasn't going away. So I ended up trying to troubleshoot and everything, and I ended up hopefully fixing it. When I turn off the camera, well, I didn't even turn off the camera. I just opened up the SD card cover, took out the SD card, tried to clean it off a little bit, like the side that the camera reads, put the SD card back in, cover it up properly, and I checked, and the corrupt file was still there. I recorded a little bit, and my recording that I did just to test it out, it was working just fine. And so I deleted all the files, and now all the files, including the corrupt one, are just gone. Oh, excuse me. So I'm hoping this one doesn't corrupt. 1 second, I gotta flip my record. Sorry for the noise. I said it before and I'll say it again. Always brush off your records before you start playing them. Your records will thank you, and you'll thank yourself in the long run. Alright, side B. Alright. Wait. So yeah, so I'm actually like really glad that I been, how do you say it? I'm actually very glad that I've been how do you call it, trying to do better for myself, physically, mentally, emotionally, and everything like that, because I feel great today. Like really, I do. It's amazing. And I know that a lot of the changes that I've been doing have just contributed to that, you know? It's like I'm gonna get kind of corny and kind of real in a bit and everything, but I've seen posts or people giving advice on the internet. I know, super reliable, right? When it comes down to people's sadness or borderline depression, you know, I don't like using that word because I feel like it's been losing its meaning lately. Like, people believe that just because they're sad for a few minutes that they're depressed, when sometimes it could just be sadness and that's it. But a lot of people are like, oh, you feel depressed, you feel sad, write in a book, listen to your favorite music, draw a picture, go outside, this and that. And it's just like, yeah, look, I get it. You're saying this with great intentions. You are, you know? And it's like, those are things that people genuinely like to do to try and make themselves feel a lot better. And thank you. Like, thank you. You are doing your best to help. But we all also have to recognize that sometimes people just need professional help, you know? And that's just the sad reality of things. Sometimes people just need professional help. And they need to go to therapy as much as I don't want to, you know? Sometimes people just need to go to therapy. Sometimes people just need someone to listen to them. Sometimes people need to like get in touch with their emotions, just let it all out. And sometimes people have to like, if they're feeling negative in their life, sometimes people just have to look in the mirror and be like, am I the reason I'm feeling this way? And what am I doing? You know, do I need to change anything? And just accept it and make changes. And for me, it was like that. Usually, I haven't gone to therapy at all. No, I don't have the money or the time for it or anything like that. Honestly, I feel like this has helped me a great amount. But also, it's just, I think the most difficult thing was just coming into agreement with why I would feel the way I would feel. And yeah, and so far it's been working. And so far I've just been like, once I've come into terms with certain things, it's just, I've been slowly changing to myself. Well, anyways, these type of music, I love it. You know, I kind of feel like I could be like an old soul sometimes because I just love old school music. There's this artist called Engelbert. He released the song Man Without Love. And if you guys have watched Moon Knight, you guys know exactly what song that is. I don't know if I talked about this in the previous episode. I knew people were gonna kill stuff, like just play stuff to death, where it just gets ruined. And thank God so far for me, that song from Engelbert isn't ruined yet. And but I have been seeing more and more TikToks of people just doing their own version of cosplaying of Moon Knight or whatever while using that song in the background. And it's like, oh, okay, let's kind of lay off of that, you know. That's just me though. Well, anyways, I was listening to that song the other day. One of my coworkers, he's 62. He doesn't watch any of the superhero stuff. I mean, he was like 18 years old when A New Hope came out back in 78. And what do you call it? I was playing that song, A Man Without Love, which I think came out in 1968, and which would make him 8 years old and everything. Would have made him 8 years old. I started playing it. Literally, the first second or two, when the song started, he kind of perked up because he was sitting next to me at that time. He kind of perked up. He looked. It's like, hey, Mando, what are you listening to? And I put it on. I showed him. He's like, oh my god. He's like, I remember my mom used to play this all the time and everything. And then, like, you know, just leaned back in his chair, put his hands over his head and everything, and just relaxed. I knew this guy was just enjoying music, vibing and reminiscing. And that's a beautiful thing. These type of songs, this type of music and everything. Because no matter how old you are or what generation you were born, when you enjoy music from when you were growing up, from when you were young and everything, eventually time is going to catch up to every single one of us. And one day, we're all going to reach that age where we know we're past the halfway point. And one day, somebody who is like maybe a third our age is going to play a song and it's just going to remind us of our youth. Like, you know, we're getting old, I swear. But like, yeah, like, for example, I was telling my woman this, and I was just like, you know, it just made me think, like, if I'm 62 and somebody who's only a third of my age, or like almost half my age, plays a song from Linkin Park, like they're blasting a place from my head and One Step Closer, or maybe Somewhere I Belong. And I just like, what are you listening to? Oh my god, your kids, your generation still listen to this and everything? It's just like, man, you know, it's like, it's gonna be crazy. Because I know when that music pops up, I'm gonna be thinking about when I was in middle school. I'm gonna be thinking when I was in high school. I'm gonna be thinking about my old iPods, my old Skull Candy MP3 players, which I found out was called the Skull Candy Roach and everything. And yeah, that's what I'm gonna be thinking about. So it's just like, it's funny how time catches up to us all and everything. Other than that, I remember last episode I was mentioning about fighting, you know, fighting, jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai, everything. And let me tell you, I didn't get to go that day. I helped my buddy out move his desk into his car, which I'm surprised managed to get him all the way from San Diego to Wyoming. But how do you call it? I helped him load it up and everything. I think that's the last things he had to move. This dude. Oh yeah, so I helped him out on that. The next day I went to Muay Thai. The next day I needed motivation, to be honest, and that's a huge reason as to why I haven't gone in over a year and why I let myself go to this extent. It's because I lost the motivation. You know, at first it started with the whole pandemic starting and everything like that, but it also kind of had to do with a mix of me just losing motivation. Going to Muay Thai, going fighting was no longer a hobby of mine. It was no longer something that I did just because I liked it or because I wanted to get better at it. It started feeling like a chore. You guys ever get that way with anything you love? It just starts feeling like a chore at this point. It starts feeling like a job. And it just gets boring. And that's just how I get. If things no longer feel like fun to me, if it no longer feels like a hobby or something I like to do, it starts feeling like a job and chore, I just start losing motivation. And that, unfortunately, that's what happened. And then, you know, of course, the pandemic closing the gyms down and everything, it's just it got ruined for me. But yeah, so I ended up going. I try to motivate myself watching Muay Thai videos, watching my old fighting YouTubers and everything like that, like looking at old photos of myself, old gear, and me having fun and everything. And I went back. Let me tell you, thank God I did not go directly to jiu-jitsu. I went to Muay Thai, and I pushed myself hard. And it kind of bummed me out when I saw other fighters there who were performing at the level that I was before the pandemic and everything like that. We're just hitting the heavy bag, just going nonstop for like minutes over minutes at a time and everything like that. Just nonstop, going at it, full force and everything. And here I am now, struggling to breathe because I haven't been moving like that. I haven't been working like that for a year and a half, maybe even 2 years. And actually, no, I think it has kind of been like 2 years. But yeah, so I went and oh my God. Kiwi, what are you doing? You know your mom doesn't like that. Relax. She's scratching her my lady has this box, and it's like basket weave kind of, but with like cloth. And they use it as their own scratching post, and my lady hates it. But yeah. Well, anyways, Kiwi, eat your food. She's just wandering around. Well, anyways, but I ended up going, and let me tell you, I was sore for the next 4 days maybe. I was sore. I feel great today, but what do you call it? I will not forget the feeling when I went there and I started skipping rope. Like, I thought I was gonna do like the first time when I started going to do Muay Thai after 3 years, because the first time I went, when I started skipping rope, I could barely reach 10 skips before I was out of breath and in pain and everything like that. Despite being out of it for a year and a half, almost 2 years maybe, I was skipping rope and I was doing over 50 before I started losing breath. And I was like, holy crap, you know, I still have some of it. You know, I still kind of have it. And I kept doing it, 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 and I kept going. Then I started doing the stretches, I started doing the warm-ups, I started doing the drills and everything. And it was just like, yeah, I was struggling a lot. I felt my lunch coming up, but I kept pushing myself and everything, because I was like, look, if I need to hurl, I'm gonna run to the bathroom and everything and hurl. But right now, I don't feel like I'm not gonna do it, so I'm gonna keep going. And I kept going, and oh my God, let me tell you, it was absolutely incredible. I just kept going, hitting the heavy bags, hitting the wall bags, hitting everything. We didn't spar that day, thank God. I didn't think I was going to be able to handle that, but it was incredible. And I kept pushing, and I kept sweating, and I kept getting hot, and I kept drinking water, and I kept just going. And I was like, eventually towards the end, I don't know what happened. My body was sore. My body was tired. It was gassed and everything. But towards the end, something snapped inside of me. And all of a sudden, it felt like brand new oxygen was just flowing through my body. And I just like went. And I went off on the wall bags. I went off on the heavy bags. And it was just like, I felt like my old self again. Like, it was like, have you guys ever watched a show called Chuck? It was a very old show. I don't know if it was super well known, but it was I forgot where it came out. Chuck is about this regular guy who was just working at a Nerd Herd, which is a fictional geek squad for Best Buy, and what do you call it? His friend from high school or college. It turned out to be a CIA agent, whatever, and basically sent Chuck an email with every single government secret. And Chuck ended up not knowing what it was, and he opened up his email while he was at home and ended up staying up all night, just automatically absorbing with like against his will, because he was like paralyzed basically, all these government secrets. Well, anyways, knowing that he has all these government secrets in his head and everything, that of course is wacky adventures follow right after, and everything with like the CIA and the FBI and everything. Well, anyways, at some point Chuck could just be clueless about something, but then he observes something very specific, whether very prominent or very subtle. Suddenly, all this just waterfall of information pertaining to what he just saw or heard just starts flooding his mind, and he immediately knows everything, like he's just been part of it his entire life. And that's basically how it happened with me. It's like in the beginning, yeah, I'm struggling how to move again, how to keep my heads up again and everything like that, how to like get flexible and loose, and how to just flow like Bruce Lee, flow like water and everything. And then all of a sudden, it's just like something just inside of me just got me back to my old mode, and I just went at it like I've just never stopped. And I love it. And I'm going to do it again tonight because it's fun. It's really fun. It's like, oh my God. But I got to be careful because I came home, took a shower, used my Thai oil and everything, just had some dinner and went to bed. I ended up going to bed at like 10:30, 11 o'clock because I had work at 6 a.m. the next day. And I usually wake up at like 5:20, 5:30 because it doesn't really take me long to get ready and leave. I skate to work, and it literally takes me like 2 or 3 minutes. I ended up waking up at 6:30 the following day, and it sucked. I was almost an hour late, but yeah, doing that again tonight, and honestly, I'm very, very, very excited. It takes like 30 days to form a habit, but then it takes like 90 days to form a lifestyle, and I got to get right back on that again. But a couple of things I've noticed about stories of stuff that I've just been seeing posted on the internet. I'm gonna tell you right after I drink this liquid death. Hold on. Oh man, so good. So we all know it's gonna be take a left turn right now. We all know that how do you call it? That no matter who goes where, problems are going to be there, whether deserved or not. One of the things, and we all know this is true, like trust me, even the guys listening, we all know this is true. Women do have a hard time when they go to the gym because they go there to work out, and yes, there are some very scummy guys who end up ruining it for the rest of us when they act like total weirdos and do weirdo stuff and then give rest of the guys a bad name or a bad rep. And it's just like, come on, dude, really? Like, look, what am I talking about? Well, harassment, basically. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about like just sexual harassment. No, that's extreme. That's very extreme. I'm just talking about like just harassing women. That's it. Sorry if I sound far away. Let me pull the table a little closer. Basically, what I'm getting at right now is there's this one video where this woman is recording herself at the gym. Like, look, part of me kind of gets why you record yourself, but part of me is just kind of like, come on. In the end of the day, that's not a priority. There's nothing wrong with wanting to admire yourself and wanting others to admire your progress or whatever, whether you're doing it for others and yourself or just yourself, you know? And if you were doing it for yourself, you wouldn't be posting it up for others to see. I don't know. That's just, it doesn't make sense to me. Like when those people go like, they post something on the internet and then like, sometimes it does get like negative attention or whatever, and then they're like, well, I didn't post this for anybody, I posted this for me. It's like, yeah, but you posted it in a website that's a video sharing website for the public, and you made it public at that, so of course others are gonna see it. What you're telling me, you have to go through multiple processes just to make a video public while you're uploading, and you're telling me that you didn't do it for anybody else? Okay, well, anyways, this woman's videotaping herself at the gym. All right, just working out. That's fine. And then she goes like, yeah, I've been ignoring this guy this guy's been bugging me for like months or whatever. I think that's what she said. And what do you call it? He's like, today I decided to wear headphones and keep him on and ignore him and everything and watch him. The video starts with her just, at an angle, the camera at an angle, her working out and everything, assuming facing the camera, facing the mirror that's there. But what do you call it? In the background, you see this other lady passing her by. Excuse me. The other lady is just grabbing equipment that she needs for her workout and then leaving. That's it. Because it was crappy audio quality. You don't really get to hear what the guy says unless you're super paying close attention. Excuse me. Unless you're super paying close attention. And I watched it a couple times and I cannot decipher what the hell he was saying. Well, anyways, you hear a guy off camera talking. You don't know who this guy is. You don't know who he's talking to, whatever. Then the guy gets into the camera frame, but his back is towards the camera and everything from the left-hand side. And you can tell now that he's talking to her, but she's ignoring him. You can tell that she has both of her AirPods in and everything. She continues doing her stuff. He goes behind her, and then he starts talking to her from her left side, which is now the right side of the screen. And you could see his face, and he's clearly directing his words to her. She's still ignoring him. And then he goes and then he touches her arm, nowhere else. And she puts her stuff down. She's like, don't touch me. Don't touch this and that. And then immediately he walks away. He doesn't come back. He just walks away. There was no update to that video from my knowledge. And honestly, it's just like if stuff like that happens and it was persisting for that amount of time, like she was saying, go to the employees. I mean, gyms have cameras. Well, I hope all gyms have cameras. And just show them what's going on. And if this is the same guy that's persisting, have him kicked out. Have his membership canceled. Have him banned from that specific gym and everything. Because you go there to work out. You don't go there for anything else. You go there to work out. And that's it. Well, anyways, I saw that. And yeah, I completely agree. She was justified. This man in there was one of those men that I was telling you. It's like, dude, you're giving other guys bad names and everything like that. Like, what if in the future there's another guy who sees her and just is trying to get her attention because he's trying to be like, hey, are you done using those weights? Can I use them and everything? And then she mistakes him for trying to harass her, but because she has that mentality of like, crap, this other guy was doing the same and it really got to me, and maybe this guy's trying to do the same thing and everything. I mean, it sucks that's immediately what she's gonna go into, but that's how it is. It's called trauma And it's like we all have some trauma of some sorts, and we can either let it control our lives or try and work past it. But it's a process. Sometimes it's a very lengthy process. Well, anyways, and yeah, so it's like, dude, you're ruining it for the rest of us. Come on, man. But yeah, so I get it. That guy was being kind of weird, and if we were to take her word on face value, he's been doing that for months, and she finally had enough of it, and everything. So yeah, that's a serious problem. Harassment in the gym and everything. Hold on, let me do my record real quick. Hold on, guys. Whoa. Lou Rollins. Switch this. I'm not gonna spend the time. How do you call it? Switching my stuff. You guys ever hear this? You ever guys hear this album called Gunfighter Ballads and Trail Songs by Marty Robbins? You guys should. A song called Big Iron, very well known. You should listen to it. God damn it. I screwed that up, didn't I? Should listen to the whole album. There we go. Hear that? Now it's connected. Now my dummy self is connected. There we go. To the town of our super good song, guys. Big Iron on his hip. But yeah. So, anyways, that's a problem. Nobody should go to the gym and feel like they need to. How do you call it? What is that? Like they feel like they're gonna just be like touched and stuff like that, or bugged or annoyed. No one should go anywhere, period, and feel like that's gonna happen. I mean, like, come on, read the room. Sometimes you guys ever hear that saying, read the room, which is basically like, hey, take a look around you. If everybody looks gloomy and sad, maybe don't come in there like going whoa and everything. Just read the room. Or if you're one of those chatty Cathys in like airports or waiting rooms and everything, and you just want to talk to somebody about your whole life story, look at them. If they're just going, oh yeah, wow, cool, wow, no way, this and that, just giving you like just basic generic responses, yeah, they're not interested in hearing. They don't want to hear you. They want to put on their headphones and just listen to their music. And even though sometimes I feel people can benefit from being a little more socials, I mean, like, you can't force somebody to talk to you. Come on, man. But like, well, anyways. But yeah, but you know what else is a problem? When you try and make a problem when a problem wasn't even there, basically. You know what I'm saying? Well, a couple episodes, like 10 or more episodes back, there was, I was talking about Jussie Smollett, what kind of name? Jussie Smollett and everything. A man who faked his own racial attack by saying that two white guys in MAGA hats came up to him and beat his ass in like what was this, Chicago, at like 2 a.m, 1 a.m, or something like that. And they just beat him, and they're all like, oh, it's MAGA country, son. And then like they put a noose that was already made, a noose, like they were just waiting to see him. And they told him Empire sucks or whatever. I was like, wow, they took the time to really just mention your show. And what do you call it? To be fair, I didn't even know who he was until that whole debacle happened. I don't watch Empire. And yeah, so he literally did everything to make it look like it was a racial attack, a hate crime and everything. Later it was uncovered, and it wasn't too long after that, this guy, he planned it. He planned his own quote unquote attack at that time. How do we know that? Well, maybe because they found text messages to the two guys who weren't even white that he paid to pose as white MAGA hat wearing racist men. And on top of that, when they reviewed footage, they saw that the day before Jussie and those two guys were at the same exact spot rehearsing how they were gonna do it. And then not only that, when the two guys came back from vacation trying to... By the way, when someone tells you lay low, lay low. It doesn't mean lay low for like a week or two and then come back to where things were happening. No, what? But like, they arrested the guys at the airport, I believe. And the guys were like, yeah, no, he paid us. Like, yeah, no, we did it because he paid us. And it's just like, so all this evidence around him, Jussie, to this day, is still denying that he did it. It's like, bro, there's all this evidence and testimonies from the men who you paid off saying that you planned it. Well, anyways, the whole part of the reason why that was so huge was because Jussie, in the end of the day, created a problem where there wasn't a problem. You see, at that point, there was, how do you say it? A lot of tension between two groups of people. Extreme left people, extreme right people. Why? Because this was when... Oh, listen to this. Hold on. This is a song I was telling you guys earlier. Oh, I think you guys can kind of hear it. Sorry, this is my dishwasher again. Jesus, this is annoying. Well, anyways, and that was between Trump and whoever Trump was facing, like Hillary or Biden. Oh, right here. Super good song. But yeah. Anyways, so one of the biggest things about what was going on at that point was saying that anybody who goes and sides with the ideas of Donald Trump is immediately racist. Never mind that the Proud Boys, being made up of black, Hispanic, Asians, Latinos, and everything like that, they're white supremacists. I don't know how that computes, you know, but what do you call it? And anybody who sided with the Clinton, Bernie, or Biden were all like communists, and despite hating the United States, they won't leave. And it's just kind of like, you know, those two stereotypes basically. And yeah, they wanted to let anybody know. They won't, well, mainly the media and a lot of others of that extremity wanted people to believe that if you find anybody wearing a hat that says "Make America Great Again," they are racist. They hate you and everything. So at that point, at that time, at that very specific time in that location, nobody had tensions. Nobody out from the extreme right was attacking anybody from the extreme left, nor vice versa. Nobody in the extreme left was fighting somebody from the extreme right. There was no problems. Nothing was happening. And if Jussie hadn't made up that attack, nothing would have happened. Nothing of significance, because nothing politically was happening. So because there was no problem, Jussie did a thing, which was create a problem where there wasn't any. And that's part of the reason why it became as big of a news, as huge as it did, because it's like, dude, this is sad, bro. This is literally taking away, like, how do you call it, the seriousness of people who actually have to go through that and everything, you know. So I think he deserves all the embarrassment. I think he deserves even more time than what he got. I mean, he got off pretty light from what I'm thinking of. Well, anyways, so yeah, he did that. He created a problem where there wasn't a problem. For what? Attention. He wasn't doing it to bring awareness. He wasn't doing that for anything positive. He did that because he wanted the attention, he wanted the publicity, and he wanted to prove, I guess he wanted to prove something political or something, or try and reinforce the idea that anybody who supports Trump is a racist, and that's not correct. But how do you call it? the reason I brought this up was because, when I was talking about, harassment in the gym that some women face, what I'm talking about was this other video that I observed today. It was almost similar premise. Well, the only similar thing was the fact that it was a woman in the gym recording her workout sesh. Well, anyways, if you guys have Instagram, there's this page called Hood Ratchet TV, which is like, the word ratchet, how it ends with a T. Instead of having another T and a V for Hood Ratchet TV, it's just the letter V after the T and ratchet. So really it reads Hood Ratchet V. But yeah, well, anyways, there's this post where this woman, she's like, trainer gets caught on camera being a pervert, and when I stand up for myself, he threatens to call the police and revoke my membership and everything. It shows her her TikTok account name on there too. Well, anyways, I'm gonna explain it. You guys want to watch it, you guys can watch it for yourself and everything. I'm just gonna explain exactly how it happened. So basically, this woman has a camera set up facing her. You can see people you can see the trainer and the guy he's training in the background and everything, but they're pretty far in the background. And she's there, and she's taking off her shirt, slowly taking off her shirt. I'm like, I've never seen anybody take off a shirt that slow before. At one point, while she's taking off her shirt, you can literally see, if you need more than once to see this, just watch it more than once. But you can see that at the middle, halfway point of her taking off her shirt, she slows down the footage. She slows down the footage to make it prolong longer. And the main reason for that is because in the original speed, you could see that the trainer in the background, when he looks at her direction, he doesn't even look for long. It's like, anybody who's been to a gym, be truthful for yourself. You're going there to either work yourself for health reasons or just to looking good or whatever. When you're there, do you ever see somebody attractive and think in your head, wow, they're attractive? And you just look at them because you're admiring their attractiveness. Literally anybody does that. It happens in the gyms. It happens when you're walking on the streets. It happens at work. It happens wherever you go. And that's okay. We all have eyes. Those of us who can see will appreciate the beauty of how humans can be. And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, like, if you're taking it even further than that and everything, like you're doing inappropriate touching or comments or whatever, yeah, that's a different story. But there's nothing wrong with looking over and being like, wow, and then just minding your own business and moving on. Absolutely nothing wrong. Well, anyways, she ends up slowing down the footage. And you can see that she slows it down. It's clear as day. The trainer is staring at his client and talking to his client. And while he's talking to his client, he ends up just turning around, seeing her. And even in the slow mode version, he's not even looking long. So you can only imagine how fast it was when if it's at normal speed. Well, anyways, she turns, looks at him, because I'm assuming she's looking in the mirror also. She's like, "Can I help you? Can I help you?" He's like, "What? Can I help you? Huh? Can I help you?" And he's like, what do you want?" And he's like, "No," she's like, "Can I help you?" And he's like, "No, what? Are you okay?" He's like, "I thought so." And he's like, "Whoa, what do you mean you thought so?" He's like, "I thought so. Keep it pushing. Keep it pushing." He's like, "Yo, dude, if you're going to be rude like that, you need to leave." And she's like, "Yeah, keep it pushing. Keep it pushing." He's like, "Okay, you need to leave because you're being rude." She's like, "You don't know in the gym." He's like, "Yeah, but I work here and I can refuse you service. If you don't leave, I'm just going to call the police and have you trespassed." And she's like, "Oh yeah, do that right now." He's like, "All right, well, just grab your things. You got to go now." And yeah, the video cuts off. I'm assuming her channel shows the more lengthier version and she has out. I brought this up to my lady either this morning or I think it was this morning. I go, "Man, I hate it when people post up stuff on the internet." And this was pertaining to a totally different video that I saw, like absolutely no relations to this one I'm talking about right now. Well, I was like, I hate when people post videos that aren't well thought out, or people think that people's reactions are going to be one way until they start receiving like negative comments or backlash, and it's basically the comments isn't really going the way you thought it would go, huh? And they don't take out the video, they turn off commenting. and everything. I was like, I hate that. It's so annoying. This was similar, except it was a little more extreme. So I read the comments because in my mind, I was just like, yo, he wasn't doing anything. Like, he wasn't even gawking or anything. He just looked over, happened to see you because he looked in that direction. And then you got mad. It's like, what? And what do you call it? And yeah, so like freaking what do you call it? Of course he's gonna get mad because he doesn't know what he did wrong. He was just looking at a direction and happened to see you, and now he's being like berated. And he's like, okay, no, you're not gonna be rude. And so anyways, I read the comments. Oh my god. Look, in videos like that, of course, there's no reason to not expect other women to be like, guys don't understand because guys don't really go through this. We're conditioned to feel like to act like that because, of what we go through, what we've went through and everything, our experiences and everything. And I was expecting to see that. No, no. Every single comment that came from a woman, this song is amazing, guys. Every single comment that came from a woman was saying the same exact thing. It's like, he didn't do anything. He wasn't doing anything to you. He's like, look, this isn't it. Other women were saying, is like, you're really reaching for this one. And they're like, yo, you're really ruining it for other women who actually went through something serious. And I was like, oh my god. So not only do everybody else agree, but other women also agree. It was like, you exaggerated. There was literally nothing wrong happening. No one did anything towards you, and now you're blowing up. And it's like, that's insane. People are like, no, you deserved it. You deserved it. You're trying to get clout by bringing negative attention to somebody who wasn't even doing anything to you. It's like, no, you deserve this backlash. Well, anyways, I ended up finding out that this lady, I don't know if the video's still up. All I know is that her page is privated now. So you'll only be able to see this video if she accepts you to follow the page. I'm not gonna request a follow page. One, I don't care that much, but two, that just says that, like, look, you really see the backlash that both men and women are giving you because you were wrong. You were reaching. You were trying to bring shame to somebody who wasn't doing anything negative towards you or anybody else, and it blew up in your face. And it's just like, yeah, so that's what I saw today. And it's just like I was saying earlier, like I said, that video is in Hood Ratchet TV on Instagram if you guys want to go see it. But like I was saying was man, I hate when it does that. What I was saying is just like, look, you can't bring or create problems where the problem doesn't exist, because not only are you ruining it for others who are actually legitimately affected with what you're claiming is happening to you, but also you're making that problem seem more like a non-issue. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? Basically, I mean, like, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying there's no reason to like, you should feel ashamed to being like, hey, look, I'm not going to have a conclusion or an opinion on a certain thing unless I get both sides of the story. If anybody tries to shame you for saying that or anything, just know that those people are literally those with either low intelligence, low critical thinking, or just want to be stuck in an echo chamber, Anyways, thinking for yourself and wanting to get all information possible about a certain situation should be the norm for everyone instead of just jumping to conclusions. But when you have evidence presented there, being like, hey, literally this happened, and look, and it's not exaggerated evidence, or it's not you trying to reach for something, yeah, that may be taken as like, you need to relax. Because it's like, you have all these other people saying that same thing happened to them when in reality it didn't. So yeah, it's just it's so weird. Like, I read this other article yesterday, honestly, where this group of women, like, I think they sued Google one time because they were saying that Google was underpaying women compared to the men. So Google did their own audits, I think, like that, and were figuring things out. And what they found out is that they were overpaying women compared to the men. And I don't think the men did anything. I think they just got like paid or something like that. I don't know. But it's just like, you see how that happens? You see how that works? When you create a problem or try and raise awareness of a problem that isn't even happening or isn't even there, just because, the stuff like that happens. Either people call you out for your crap, or it just ends up just completely doing a 180 and blowing up in your face because now you brought to attention that you're not the victim, the other side is the victim. and I don't know, it's funny to me because it's just like, come on, really, just pay attention to what you're saying. Man, dude, I feel like I'm in Vietnam right now. Man, this this song is good, but it's overdone. Have you guys ever been to Space Vietnam? You know, the forest moon of Endor? Yeah. Oh yeah, Ewok Hunt Battlefront 2. You guys should play that if you haven't yet. It's scary, especially with the song though. But yeah, so that's what I read. It's just like, man, all this stuff. And don't get me wrong, this is not me being like, oh yeah, women are dumb or anything. Like, no. I'm just saying, like, look, this is what happens when the problems are created that weren't even there in the first place. But yeah, anyways, other news, completely unrelated. My lady bought me a Moon Knight shirt and a hoodie, and I'm excited. I just want to lose some more weight before I start really wearing them because they're cool, they're sick, they're cool. I like them. But I'm trying to how do you say it? Back to the gym thing for Muay Thai. I'm trying to continue fighting, Not only do I want to reach to where I was before back in 2019, I want to get better from that point. And Muay Thai just did it for me. It let me blow off steam. It made me sharpen my skills. Like, for me, honestly, you know how people are naturally born to do stuff? Like, when it comes down to music, sometimes you could have people who are talented in music, and then you could have people who are just downright gifted or prodigies and everything like that. Like, if you take them to their first piano lesson or whatever, like if you take a bunch of kids to a piano lesson, you're gonna be teaching them a basic scale, and then they're gonna keep practicing over and over again a couple of times or a few hours or a couple of days that scale until they completely know it. They recognize the notes, they recognize the oh snap, the Wellerman. Sea shanties, guys, for reals. Well, anyways, so you have kids who will play that scale over and over again. It'll take him a few tries, a few hours, or maybe a couple of days until they can recognize every single note and play the scale without even looking at it forwards and back. But then you have those who are gifted or naturals or prodigies and everything, who will literally see you play the scale, and after once or twice they would have perfected it and they would know it. And it's just like, you could tell some kids are just naturally gifted for that, while others can get to that point, but it's going to take longer practice. And then you have others for sports, like everybody's human, but let's say football. Some people are just faster. Some people are just more agile. Some people are just stronger. Some people are just bigger. Some people are just are just smaller and can get past a lot of the bigger opponents. Some people are just more naturally gifted in different areas than others. And you can see it. People say it. For me, I just know that really, I'm just good at fighting. like, really, I am. I'm just good at this stuff. I didn't know. I didn't really see it. I didn't really even think about it until I had like even friends from back home whom I've talked to recently after a lot of years who have seen what I've been up to, and they're just like, dude, that's super you. They're like, that's totally you. It's like yeah, no, it seems about right. Like one time I had a buddy from ninth grade. He hit me up one time on my birthday, and he was like, "Hey man, how you doing? How you been?" And we're just talking, you know. And this guy told me, he's like, "Hey dude, you're legitimately a bounty hunter now?" And I'm like, yeah, no. Went, got certified, put my time in, and yeah, I'm in training and everything, and I'm out there, arrested a good amount of people, yada yada yada. And he's like, dude, I knew you were gonna do something like that. And I was just like, what? And he was like, yeah, dude, ever since freshman year, you've just had that look about you. You just had that demeanor about you, man. It's just like you were fun, but you were like serious, and people took you seriously. And I was like, I never thought about it. And then my other buddy, he was just like, yeah, dude, you have that cop face and everything. It's like people look at you and they take you seriously and everything. And I was just like, holy crap. But it came down to fighting also, because it's just like I was telling you, after almost 2 years basically of not fighting, when I went back to it, despite it being a struggle, at one point, like a second, I caught my second breath, my second wind, and I just went off. And I surprised even myself, because this is just what I was born to do and everything. And I want to capitalize on it. I want to capitalize on my skill to fight so I can be better for my personal life, for when I'm with my lady, and for my professional life. And yeah, that's the goal. So after I'm done with this episode right here, I'm just going to be editing it. By the way, Frank Sinatra. Oh my God, this song is beautiful. Such a great song, for reals. But like after I'm doing all that stuff, I'm just gonna finish fixing up my stuff, and then I'm be heading off to Muay Thai again and everything, and just work my butts off. What do you call it? I hate when my phone kind of lags sometimes. And yeah, that's really about it. It's been kind of weird though lately. Like I said earlier today, it sounds like a broken record. I know, because I've been doing more thinking about this, I know this is a result of me just ultimately just being homesick. But it's like, it's been getting a lot worse lately, you know? It's just that, what do you call it? I told my lady about this morning, but because I told her when she was barely waking up really, I don't think it really registered in her head as much as I thought it would have. But basically not this night that just happened, but the night before, I don't know why, I had this very realistic dream that it was me and my lady back in my home, and she was wearing this dress that I saw her pass by with in real life the night before, and she was wearing that same exact dress in my dream, and we were back home in SF, and it was night. It was like it had just been raining because the floor was wet and there was puddles. I recognized the street I was in, and I was so nervous because I was gonna have her meet my family for the first time. And I was excited and scared and nervous, but ultimately excited. And it felt so real, like absolutely real. Then later on that day, after I got home from work and everything, I didn't realize how tired I truly was. So I ended up taking a nap. Oh my God, like, man, Frank Sinatra's so good. But what do you call it? Yeah, so I guess when I took a nap, my dream was that I was home again, I guess by the fair building. And then I just saw my old friends, and I heard their voices, and and what they were saying to me, and we were all having fun and catching up, having our old inside jokes again, and saw a lot more of my old friends and everything. And it's just like their voices exactly. And then I woke up, and then when I woke up, this is real life now, I turned on my Xbox and saw that there was a flight simulator. I always wanted a simulator game, so finally they have Flight Simulator. I downloaded it. It's a flight simulator. Santiana. Oh my god, this song is so good. Guys, this song is so good. But yeah. So, oh man, this song is so good. Well, anyways, I downloaded Flight Simulator. Ended up finding out that I could fly out from SFO and everything like that. So I ended up getting on a plane, start navigating through the plane and everything. And I noticed that that not only can you fly out from SFO, but it literally renders everywhere. It's like somebody took Google Maps, like when you hit the terrain version where you can see all the roads and everything, and the 3D version, they took every single part of that and just copied and pasted it into the game, because you can see literally every single building. I was able to find the old building I used to work with in Jimmy John's. I was able to find the buildings that I used to deliver to. I found Pier 39. I found Coit Tower. I found the Palace of Fine Arts, found Ocean Beach, found the old Cliff House when it was still open. Never went to go eat at Cliff House. It's one of my ultimate regrets. Found my old high school, even. Found Twin Peaks. Like, they got my high school perfect. I found the roads me and my friends used to take when we went off campus for lunch. Found the old Taco Bell. Found my bus route. Found Holly Park. Found my old elementary school, J. Sarah. Found my house. And it has my roof perfectly. And I remember it, like, just immediately brought me back to when I used to, like, be struggling, like, mentally. So I would go to the roof as an escape to look at a distance at the city and just, like, really unwind. And I found everything. And it was just like, it just took me back. And last night when I went to sleep, I ended up dreaming that I was back in my old house with my family and everything, except it was Jurassic Park themed because I guess they were running like bringing back the dinosaurs in my garage, but some of them got loose and we ended up having to barricade ourselves in our old apartment and everything like that. But yeah, no, that's what happened. But yeah, so it's just like, I was wondering, I was like, dude, why am I dreaming so much of this? Man, I came to terms with it. I was like, it's because I miss home. That's literally all it is. Like I said, broken record, but yeah, I miss home. All I know is that visiting to just go see my family for like a few days isn't enough at this point. I know I need to be there for a chunk of time in order to like really feel better. And that's just how it is. But yeah, well, anyways, judging by my camera battery and judging from how long I've been recording, I think it's safe to say that this is a good cutoff point and everything. Hold on, let me see something. This song, oh my god. You guys ever hear this one? This song is so good. If you guys watch Breaking Bad or one episode of Friends, it's by America. It's called A Horse with No Name. Honestly, if you're literally on a horse or you're on a motorcycle driving through long stretches of highway, the desert, whatever, this is the song. This is the song. Such a good song, I swear. Well, yeah, song recommendations, I guess that's the theme of the video today. But yeah, no, like I said, today it's been feeling great. It's been feeling better. I hope all of you guys are doing incredible. You know, roads may get bumpy sometimes, but hey, listen, there's always going to be great days in the future. But other than that, just want to say thank you all for sticking by me and listening to me for another episode. Truly, I do appreciate it. And there's more episodes to come in the future. I have been your host, Armando Ortega, and I hope you guys have an incredible rest of your day. See ya.